What is up, YouTube? It's Captain ABC here, and today we're just going to do a little general Duel Links update, and going to watch 4 replayed rank duels. That includes a rank up, and I'm deciding on whether or not whether I want to call this a series or not. It's going to be basically us trying to get to King Games. A new ranked season just started, and currently I made it to Legend Rank 1 last season, so I went back to Platinum 1 today, and excuse me, and now we are currently at Platinum Rank 2 with the rank up, and we'll watch those 4 duels. But first, I guess we can go to the shop and check out the new EX structure deck that came out and kind of see if it's going to be prevalent or not, potentially. It's a Fire King deck, and it includes high avatar Garunix or something. It's basically Neptivus, but instead of destroying spells and traps, it destroys monsters. And when it's destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, so let's read it. During the next standby phase, after this card was destroyed by a card effect and sent to the grave, special summon this card from the graveyard. When you do, destroy all other monsters on the field. So it's basically a dark hole. That is pretty powerful. However, if your deck can easily produce level 8 synchros, I highly suggest always having a Stardust Dragon in your deck, in your extra deck. Or if you're doing more of like a stun deck, you could potentially, I've started to run this card. It's the Starlight Road. It's a trap card that summons it negates a destruction effect that will destroy 2 monsters, or 2 cards in general, and then brings out a Stardust Dragon for free, basically, and then you have another destruction negate, and it comes back. So those are very good techs going forward if this deck becomes a thing, because obviously Ubel will be putting these new cards in their decks more than likely. And then what else? They also have the small avatar. We'll read it. If a face-up Fire King monster you control is destroyed by a card effect, you can special this card from your hand. So basically, if they have this in their hand and they bring out the high avatar, they'll have another body out for free, basically. And then if this card in your possession is destroyed by your opponent's battle or card effect, you can special summon another Fire King avatar monster from your deck. It's pretty powerful. It's got low stats, thankfully, but if this is in their hand when they bring out high avatar, it could potentially not be good if you don't have anything to stop it with. And then they give you Yaksha, Barong, Kirin, and actually they give you a Neptivus, which is pretty cool. I'm guessing that's why this is an EX deck, because they include 2 URs. And then they have this card, Circle of Fire Kings. Target 1 fire monster you control and 1 fire monster in your grave. Destroy that one and special summon the other. That can bring out their small Yaksha, their small bird, basically, from their hand. Or if they want to go ahead and get the high avatar out anyway, it'll come out and destroy everything. So that's a really good card. But this was the one that I was this was the biggest one that I was worried about. It says, if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, special summon 1 Fire Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast type monster from your deck. That's pretty neat, because anything that just special summons from deck, obviously with Neos Fusion, it could potentially be a problem. But its effects are negated. However, it destroys it during the end phase. So obviously, if they bring out a big Fire King, it's coming back in the next standby phase and going to destroy something like your spells or your monsters. So that's a card to keep in that's a card to keep in mind. And then they have Special Hurricane. That's a pretty neat tech too. Discard a card, destroy all special summon monsters. I don't know how good it is right now. It is non-targeting removal, which is very important. However, if you're dealing with something like that, like heroes with Neos Fusion or just a Neos Fusion deck in general, they're going to have a Neos Fusion engraved more than likely, and it'll protect it. So you can burn their Neos Fusion in case. But I have 2 of these. I've tried it out, but right now it's not the best. And then Awakening of the Neptivus and Last Hope of Neptivus. Yeah. So that's the new EX deck. Potentially going to do well, because I mean that's a big monster that you can easily destroy in your hand with the other Neptivus cards, and then along with Ubel and all that, we'll see what it does. So that's the new deck, and then we'll go to the replays, and I'll show you the replays, and that'll be it for today's video. See, we currently are at Platinum Rank 2, and we are still using the Machina deck. I've just been seeing really good success with it so far. Here's the deck. Same thing as the other day. Same extra deck. Now, if you're using this deck, you could potentially change Armides out for something else, because more than likely, if they only have 1 back row, you might just want to go and destroy the back row. So you're not as worried about battle traps. So obviously this is the best level 5 synchro to go into, because it just bounces a card, and that's really good. So let's go into the duel replays. We'll go with my first match of the day. I don't have the original footage of it, but we'll kind of walk through it and see how it goes. This one was against No Pun Intended. Pretty funny. Yeah. Just I think this is what we'll be doing, is trying to make it to King of Games by the end of this month. It was against Odeon. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember what deck he was playing. I'm going second, which is always favorable in my opinion. So we open nothing but spells and traps. That's good for stalling for a turn, but if I don't draw anything to get me to where I want to be, it's not going to be the best. But we'll see how it goes. So I start with setting. I wanted to keep the Forbidden Chalice just in case for later. Floodgate for both floodgates just in case there's something I can't deal with. And I noticed that he's playing Gladiator Beasts, and obviously Gladiator Beasts are dependent on attacking. And if that Gladiator Beast attack, and he has the Sea Serpent one, that would have been game immediately. So if they're just summoning one monster, might as well floodgate it. No reason not to. And then he sets 2 cards, and I'm glad that I have at least 1 Cosmic Cyclone. And in his end phase, I go ahead and pick his middle one, because typically people put their most important. They just go ahead and put their most important in the middle. And actually, this guy is actually playing the Onslaught of the Fire Kings. Off the top of my head, I don't know what he can bring out with this. There must be a. It has to be fire. Oh, they can bring out the card, or the 2100 beater when it comes back from the battle phase. That one, and be able to get the negate guy out. So I put down Gaia Power, I activate skill Firm as the Earth, normal summon. He stops it with Fiendish Chain. I'm fine with that. I just okay. So this is important. Obviously, he's going into Gazeris to pop my 2 back row. I did not want to floodgate. I wanted to wait, and I saw that he normal summoned that, and obviously he can contact fuse away the floodgated the floodgated monster. So I'm like, okay, we'll wait for the Gazeris to go down because that's a very powerful card, and it doesn't have very high defense points. So he targets, I floodgate, and I believe he can't do anything after this. Yep, that's exactly what he does. And then I draw for turn, and I actually get a gear frame, which is really nice because that means I can grab a fortress from deck just to set up for next turn. And I go ahead and destroy his Gazeris because I don't want him to be able to contact fuse away that, because he could bring out the generic 2 material that only takes 2 gladiator beasts. So I went ahead and destroyed it so he couldn't get it out. This is the card that he can bring out with that new Fire King card. So I actually pitch for Fortress and opt to, and I went ahead and opted to activate Gear Frame's effect to attach it to Fortress, just in case he had a treacherous set. That was my thought process, but he has the monster effect negator. But thankfully, Fortress it's a summoning condition. It's not an effect to special it from grave, so he couldn't hit it with that. So he goes ahead and destroys my gear frame. And now I go ahead and go for damage. And he's currently at 28. I'm at 3,000. And right now he has 2 cards in hand. And he just quits. Obviously, he didn't have the Sea Serpent in hand or anything like that. And honestly, depending on what I had next turn, I would have had OTK. Because it could have been a normal summon or anything like that. So he went ahead and quit. So that was first game. Good match. Second match is against YY259. I do not remember. I only remember one deck that I played against. It was Taya. What? A lot of people were liking Holy Guard. My initial reaction is, oh, he's probably playing Gladiator Beast too. So, but he's not. He is playing, I guess, Element Saber Invoked, or maybe just Element Sabers. So I draw and set 2, and then I'm on a normal gear frame, probably getting Megaform, yeah. And then I'm going to pitch the Megaform for Fortress, and he's going to proc he's going to book a moon. But so he was smart. He did not target my Fortress because I would have been able to rip a card out of his hand. So he just goes for gear frame. He obviously wanted the 2 cards that was in his hand. So he goes for Alistair, and I was like, okay, he's about to bring out the non-targeting, the water fusion that can't be targeted, and that's why we play Floodgate Trap Hole. But he uses Invocation for Dark Cavalry, and I'm like, okay. Basically, you can't target this thing with effects because it negates targeting and destroys. So I'm like, okay, we'll Trap Hole that. That's another reason why we run Floodgate Trap Hole. And he attacks into my gear frame, and I'm thinking that's fine. So now I have Scrap Cycler and a card in hand to pitch for Jet Synchron, and that's perfect for this deck. So what I'll do is pitch for Jet Synchron, special out that, bringing out Scrap Dragon and Megaform by banishing Fortress, and then using Dragon to pop my Scrap Recycler and his Cavalry, and unless he had Kiteroid, he could not stop me. Attack for game. And that was a very quick and easy match. I had another Floodgate Trap Hole set, so it was good. Excuse me. And on to game 3. There's something weird going on with the replays right now, I believe. It's showing all my stuff in Japanese, for some reason. I must have messed with my settings or something. And I see Weevil, I immediately think stun. So this hand is like the hand that you want to see with this deck, because I have Gear Frame, I have Jet Synchron, and I can grab a Fortress, pitch a Gear Frame, and Fortress, or I can normal Gear Frame, get Fortress, pitch Fortress and Jet Synchron, discard a card, bring it out, go into an 8, destroys back row. But I couldn't have drawn better Mega Form, and the rest just speaks for itself. Discarding Mega Form. So in this case, you would want to pitch the Jet Synchron with your Fortress, so that you can get your Mega Form into grave by discarding it to get out Jet Synchron, and then you can go into your normal play of 8 Scrap Dragon, Mega Form, pop, attack for game. But I actually opted, now that I remember, to just bounce it to hand, because in case that it was something that when it was sent, it would bounce my card back or something like that, or destroy a card. I just decided, well, I'll just get rid of it and bring it back to hand and try to attack for game. Targeting that, and he had nothing and he quit. So, yeah, he obviously had nothing. But I remember this deck particularly because it was like a Battle Wasp. It was Insect Uprising, Battle Wasp, bunch of Insect with the new Insect Queen, the newer Insect Queen card. And yeah, so that was another win. So that's 3 wins in a row, and this 4th duel is pretty crazy. It basically shows off the full potential of my deck and how easily it can break boards in OTK. But this is my rank up match. You'll see. So nowadays, you see my Valentine. They're probably playing Black Wings. Because they get an extra 200 boost or whatever, I believe. Yeah. So this is a good hand. But this guy basically goes off. He's obviously he obviously knows what he's doing with this deck. Normal summon, add special summon galore. He actually goes into a Ancient Pixie Dragon, which you don't see very often, but it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting what he did. He got the Zephyros into grave, bounced his field spell to special it, and then reactivated the field spell and got to draw a card with Ancient Pixie Dragon, which is pretty neat. And then he brings out this guy, which allows him to special the other 7 back out. And basically, this is a full board. This is a strong board. He can redirect targeting and stuff like that. But we'll see what happens. And I draw Forbidden Chalice, which is like not that crazy. But if I have Scrap Recycler and both of the big Machina cards, and he has nothing to stop me, my biggest fear was that counter trap that Black Wings play, because obviously it negates a monster effect. So he could have negated this Scrap Recycler very easily, which is why I think he opted to draw the card to try to draw the counter trap. But we'll continue. I'm obviously going to pitch for Jet Synchron, and then I'm going to pitch Fortress to special out Jet Synchron, and then discard Megaform to special out Fortress, go into Scrap Dragon, and then get out Megaform by banishing Fortress. And now I'm going to set my Forbidden Chalice, but it's basically just to give myself a card to destroy to destroy his ancient pixie dragon, because I want another monster on field to be able to tribute for Econ. So I destroy his ancient pixie dragon, tribute, grabbing that, and then attack for game. And that was my rank up duel, and that is basically the full power of this deck. I was able to run through a full field of very strong high attack, high defense monsters. But yeah, that is it. Now we are currently Platinum Rank 1 with that match, and tomorrow we will grind up to Platinum Rank 3, and that's going to be the plan. Well, I think that's everything. Went over the new Fire King stuff, watched 4 ranked duels, and had a ton of fun doing it. Well, thank you so much for watching. Hope everybody has a great day. This is Captain ABC, signing out.